Hello guys, welcome to another video. This time what I eat in a week video. It will be a video with a lot of summer recipes, of course gluten-free ones as well, and also going around Vienna and trying some new restaurants and checking out some places like markets and so on. I want to underline before I start cooking that I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just showing you what I eat as a celiac person, and you can take it as an inspiration from your own meals and recipes, but of course don't take it as an advice what I literally eat in a week. That's why you don't really see all of the meals as well. You are just following me throughout the week to get some inspiration and also see some good food. And yes, that's all that I wanted to say. Let's go, let's start cooking together. Also, I feel awkward to say it, but please like and subscribe and leave a little bit of a comment. Even a couple of words of encouragement is helping a lot to grow this channel. So let's get cooking. One of the most important parts of summer cooking for me is my meals being colorful, but also finding ways to prepare meals that can be eaten over a few days, served in different ways or frozen for future weeks to make my life easier and minimize the cooking. So for this week I went with this theme and I started by preparing some falafels. For this recipe you will need chickpeas, garlic, onion, parsley and spices. I started by chopping a large bunch of parsley. The finer the better. I definitely didn't chop it finely enough, so I ended up with big chunks in my falafel mix. It was still good, but I think it would be even better if it would be chopped properly. I did the same with onion and garlic. If you are confident in your knife skills, go for it. I wasn't and I'm still not, so I used a food processor. Next, I added the chickpeas. I use canned chickpeas because they are quicker and easier to use. Then came the spices. Traditionally, falafel includes cumin, coriander and salt, but I hadn't checked my spice shelf beforehand, so I improvised with salt, black pepper, red pepper and a dried herb mix. Once everything was in the bowl, I blended the mixture, just enough to combine everything well, but not too much or it can turn into hummus. You want a texture that holds together but still has some bite. I formed small balls using about 1 big spoon of the mixture per falafel. You can fry them or bake them. I chose to bake and I highly recommend it. Baking is more forgiving if your mix isn't the perfect consistency. Even slightly too wet or too dry falafel bowl will still turn out very good. I served mine with flatbread, salad and yogurt, as well as a tomato mix with cilantro on the side. And of course, a big batch went into the freezer for future meals. We are on our way to farmers market, which is called Naschmarkt. It's one of the biggest farmers market in Vienna. If I checked it correctly in the internet, it should be quite interesting because it's not just food, but they have restaurant and coffee shops and desserts and even a bit of clothes, so a bit of everything, I guess. And if you want to visit as well, it's open every day except Sunday and it's open till 7 p.m. So quite good opening hours. Looking at all of the food there made us too hungry, so we are gonna go to a Vietnamese restaurant that is nearby and try out some of their dishes because all of it looks pretty amazing. we chose this restaurant just because it was like very close to where we've been, and it turned out to be pretty amazing. The taste of the broth in the soup was literally the best soup I've ever tried. So pretty amazing find for a random restaurant that was just close to us. And also, like 90% of the menu was gluten-free. So we had quite a bit of choices. As the weather got hotter and hotter this week, I had to get creative with meals that didn't require any cooking. And the simplest, most obvious solution was salad. Since I wanted something filling, I went for a bean salad. I found this recipe on Pinterest and had never made it before, so it was a bit of a hassle whether it will turn out good or not, but now after trying it, I can wholeheartedly recommend it to you. As you've probably noticed, this salad has quite a few ingredients. It starts with beans as the main protein source. Then I added green olives, cut in halves, and fresh parsley. You can finely chop the parsley to blend it in or leave it in larger pieces if you prefer a more rustic feel. Next came grilled peppers from a jar. Now mine had a mix of red and yellow, which added a summery touch to it. Of course, I also added red onion because for me, as a Polish person, a meal without onion is not a square meal. And finally, I included artichokes from a jar. I was a bit hesitant about it because I'm usually not the biggest fan of it, but in this salad they were very, very good. So if you aren't the biggest fan as well, give them a chance. To bring it all together, I made a simple dressing. I grated some lemon zest, added salt and pepper, then fried garlic in olive oil and poured that over the salad. Once everything is mixed together, flavors blend together just beautifully. I served it on a flat bread, but it's equally delicious on any kind of bread or just as it is for a lightly lunch. So sorry for a little bit of a bad audio, but we went to a flea market and I didn't expect to have opportunity to speak to you. And as I said, we came to a flea market, but we came a little bit too early and everything is still closed. So we have 40 minutes to kill. So we went to a nearby Asian restaurant. We'll grab some drinks right now, and after 40 minutes we will also grab lunch here. So we have a new restaurant to check out in Vienna.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes on it.
Another day in Vienna, so we will cook something together again. Sorry for the change in my voice. I'm getting progressively sicker with every day. And with the video unfolding, I'm just sicker and sicker with every take for this video, unfortunately, which is a bit weird feeling because it's 30 degrees outside and I am not in any room with AC during the day, so I don't know how I managed to get a cold. But anyhow, we'll go on. We still cook even if we are a bit sick, so it's okay. I will right now do some brownie to have as dessert, and then of course lunch as well. The brownie is not gonna be a very complicated recipe because it's a ready mix. Basically, all I have to do is just put the mix into the bowl, mix it with an egg, oil, water, mix it all together, stir it quite well, put it into the oven, and then we have a ready brownie. So it's really not a complicated process, but you know, not everything needs to be complicated while cooking during the week. You need some quick recipes as well. As you probably notice, I'm doing quite large sizes of all of the recipes as well, and because I don't want to spend 20 minutes on making salad and then eat it just once. If I'm doing it, I'm eating it over a couple next meals, maybe as a side dish, as a breakfast or something like that. So that's why everything is so big as well. And yes, let's make lunch together as well, and not just brownie. Another salad. A lot of summer recipes here, only summer recipes here. By accident I made the dough a bit too thick, but I'm gonna use my mistake and try to make cookies instead of one big brownie, and also cut some chocolate and add into it just for some extra taste of bitter chocolate inside. This is one of my favorite summer recipes that I keep repeating and repeating and repeating because it's incredibly versatile. You can enjoy it in at least 3 different ways. As a fresh spring rolls, fried spring rolls, or just simply as a salad. My favorite option is of course fried spring rolls. I started by chopping a really generous amount of green onion and cutting a sweet red pepper into strips. Although if you are planning to use the mix as a filling for spring rolls, chop the veggies into smaller pieces. I didn't, and I regretted it a little bit because rolling the spring rolls was a bit of a challenge. Sticking to my stripe cutting method, I continue with carrot and cabbage. You can use either red or white. Personally, I prefer red because it has a stronger flavor, but I didn't have a choice this time as the red one wasn't available in the grocery store. At the end came the cucumber. The final main ingredient was rice noodle, which I could and mix with all of the veggies. For the dressing, I simply mix soya sauce with peanut butter, quick and creamy. Once everything is combined, the dish is ready to serve as a salad. I ate half of it like that and used the other half as filling for spring rolls. If you're feeling fancy, you can also fry the spring rolls for a crispy version, and this is what I did.